We're here for another week to talk all things Destiny 2. Hello, everybody.
Can you believe it? They made a second one.
They made a second
Destiny
one.
2. It's here.
Destiny 2 after so many years.
This time with twice as many guns.
They made more guns. They're probably going to make more guns somehow. Can you believe?
Wow.
Can you believe in just 30 days we will have more guns because
Stop it.
Destiny 2: The Final Shape is
Stop it.
30 days away from
Shut
this
the
from when
fuck
we're
up,
recording this podcast.
Mike, shut the fuck up.
It's true. It's
God
true.
damn it.
30 days. The Destiny 2: The Final Shape. The big day for all of us here on Helm Tower and Destiny fans all around. Hello,
Rejoice.
I'm Mike Burgess. I'm here with Cam Koenig and Ari O'Neill.
Hi.
We're here. We got another week of Destiny that has come and gone. We had a bunch of stuff drop this week. We had, more onslaught grinding. I know I did plenty. I'm sure both of you did as well. Pantheon dropped the first week of the first week of Pantheon dropped. I know Cam, you ran it with a group, and I also just the night before this ran some with my clan mates and had a good time.
And I tried.
Yeah,
It's kind of tough.
So we'll talk about it for sure, but it's pretty good. And then we had also TWAB as well, and Rahool is coming for your exotic engrams. That's all I'm going to say. But we'll get more into that.
Honestly, fucking take them.
Yeah. I got too many. Just hoarding all these. But yeah, that's some stuff to talk about. But yeah, we're getting closer and closer to the final shape. I'm in that mode of just like I'm just waiting for this 1 week where they're just gonna drop like some 8,000 million word article that's like here's like the billion changes we're making to like abilities or weapon changes or whatever one it's gonna be, where we're just gonna get some massive blog that's gonna go over some of this stuff. I feel like it's gonna be pretty much any day now. We're gonna start seeing stuff like that for sure.
Yeah. We're definitely due for like ability tuning stuff that they've talked about.
Yeah.
They were like, all of the abilities that are in Prismatic are getting like a major tuning pass.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Nobody really uses them now.
Yeah.
My guess is like it's going to be that week that Outbreak or Zero Hour drops because like that's the last thing. And it's like, all right, clear path now,
Sure. I can see that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense that they spent a lot of like this week's twit on PvP stuff because they have that map pack coming out next week. So
so that'll be like pretty much the day before you're listening to this, or it might be the day of. Yeah, the new map pack will be out. 3 brand new PvP maps. You'll have in the TWAB. You're jumping ahead a little bit, but yeah, they gave you a little preview of some of them more. They got this like guy who makes like little graphics for like those maps.
That was
and
rad
stuff
to see, honestly.
It was so cool. I've
Yeah.
looked at those like so much in the past to learn the maps and stuff. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, so they got him early on to make those kind of like the overhead looks at the maps and like the names of all the different places. So that's actually in the TWAB this week. So you can go grab those, and I'm sure they've been spread around Twitter and stuff. So that was cool. Yeah, they got him to do those for these new maps. They're going to be dropping on the 7th. And yeah, there'll be a actual playlist as well. I think it's called like New Territory, or Territory is like the playlist.
Like
New Territory,
and it's gonna have it's gonna be a mix of modes. So I think they said like Clash and other
survival, collision, clash,
elimination, clash, and collision.
Yeah, so it'll be like a mixture of those modes, and you can play, and it'll just be those 3 maps in that playlist, and you'll just kind of be thrown into one. So that's cool. They're doing that. I'll probably at least maybe actually try that then for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll at least hop in and look at them and be like, yeah, these are PvP maps.
Yeah, and then be like, cool. I got, and you get like an emblem. You'll get an emblem of some kind.
It's kind of neat. Yeah,
it's a cool little emblem, like a crucible looking emblem, and
it's called Slaycation, which is a great name.
Yeah, good name for sure. Now I think that'll drop once the final shape releases. But yeah, just all you need to do is like play a match or 2 in that playlist, and it'll kind of say you participated in that moment, and then get that little emblem for yourself.
I always get really excited whenever they have like fun little emblems for things, and I always try to get them, but I've had the same emblem since like basically vanilla D2, and I don't ever plan on changing it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, this is like really cool. It's a shame I'm never gonna use it.
Yeah.
They like, they put out that trans one, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess you pigeonholed me. So I mean,
Sure.
I'll put on my Iron Banner one every now and again.
Yeah, it's like the Iron Banner week one. And then,
my inventory is like, oh, hey, here's a day one raid emblem. I'll just keep that in there as like a little reminder for me that I did it. Here's the one that I just have equipped. Here's one that looks like the one I have equipped that I change for whenever the fucking Festival of the Lost is here, because it's very similar, but it's spooky. And then here's one that's my Iron Banner one, and the rest of them, I don't remember what they are.
Yeah.
Trash, actually.
Yeah,
basically.
I kind of do a very similar thing of like, I have like ones I pretty commonly use on each of my characters that are like the one I just kind of always have on them. But then I have like a couple that are like in like the little collection, like the immediate kind of, I guess, ones to pick and choose from that are like ones that I feel like good about getting, where it's like, oh yeah, I remember when they did I have the one that's like when they did the sunsetting, and they had like the moments of triumph or whatever during that period.
Yeah,
there was one you could get for doing all of the raids before they were sunset. Yes. And you could get in. It was like a cool, like it's like black and has like the classic, shiny metal like raid banner skull like in the banner thing in it, and it's pretty cool looking, but it's just it was only for that moments of triumph because when all those raids were available.
I think I got that one because those were the only times I did those raids.
Yeah, same, exactly. So I did that. I have that one. I know we did during that period, and I ended up doing when I ended up doing a couple of those raid layers specifically. We actually did some of those like the challenge versions of those raids before they made those modes. I forget what they used to call them, but prestige. Yeah. So like I have one or two of the prestige ones. I don't remember exactly which ones are which. Again, I think they're the one of I have like the Eater of Worlds one, or I think maybe the Crown one as well. Or so I have like one or two of them. So I hold those, and then like also like the solo flawless dungeon. Some of the dungeon ones I've gotten a couple of those. So I
don't think I ever did. I might have done prestige. One of the other ones, I don't remember. I know I did Prestige Leviathan at least once, because
I think I did that
at
too.
that point. I was just like, hey, I don't know how they're going to change getting this fucking platinum trophy, but I would just like to knock this out before I have to research it.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. But also I think I needed to do that for the Legend of Acreus like Catalyst stuff way back in the day.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the ones. Yeah, the Prestige Leviathan, because I think that was tied to stuff at that point in time.
I miss a lot of those raids. They were fun, but that's like such not new information.
Yeah, I know, right? But I still think there's like a good chance they return in some shape or form. Maybe not all the raid layers, but at least like Leviathan, like I think still has a pretty strong chance.
I would honestly just be okay if it was like, all right, you got Leviathan, Scourge, Crown, everything else is whatever. Spire of Stars maybe, but
I'd be fine with if like they just do Leviathan and Scourge, and then they bring back Wrath from D1 to like complete the full D1.
That'd be okay.
Return like if it just ends up being those three, like I'd be more than happy with that.
That's what I think they'll do. If honestly, like
So
of the options.
For the emblems, like I have some of those like in that little kind of hopper to choose from, but same thing. I don't really ever pick ones because I always on my Warlock I have the dumb one they did it was like a Bungie bounty sort of emblem for streamers where I think it was like gift subs, and there was one they did which was like an old like Windows 98 like style, and it like looks like a weird like
I am like actually
items
upset
from that
I missed out on that one.
Right.
Because like whenever on the few times that I actually like do a Twitch stream, every single thing on my fucking like overlay just looks like I'm running IE6 and Windows XP. And I'm like,
it's 100% that.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I pretty much always have that one on my Warlock, and then I have like there's like they used to do like planet specific ones that were just like completely random drops, and some of them were actually like legitimately cool looking. Like I have like a Titan one that's like looks really cool because it's like this like glowy like flowery effect that's like on the emblem that I use sometimes on my Titan that I think looks really cool, and it's just like a weird old obscure one which I think is more fun. So yeah, but like ultimately like it's just like it's like one or two for each character, and that's all I ever use, and then an Iron Banner one if I play Iron Banner.
I am pretty sure the ones on my Titan and my Hunter are defaults. So.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really know if there would ever be like a way to like better present those in a way you could use more differently. But ultimately, I think it's like whatever. There's so many of them at this point, regardless. That it's like I think it's just fine to like
I
just have the ones you like
out
and
into. Finding one that I particularly really, really like.
Yeah.
And then every time I'm in like a Twitch chat and somebody's like, we're doing an emblem giveaway, I just like feel like I don't need to enter this because like somebody else actually wants this, and I just don't need to like take that chance away from them. So
and like oh, go ahead, Ari.
I'll pop on like the new expansion one when we're like doing the campaign, and then the new raid one for like that first week. But that's it.
Yeah, like the most
back to default.
Yeah, I'll change it to be like if like after like a day one clear, like it's like you go to orbit and you have the picture of everybody with the same emblem. Like of course I'll like change it for that, right? But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's
But then it goes right in the fucking trash, baby.
I'll at least leave it in my inventory.
Yeah.
Like,
then I forget it exists, and then I see somebody wearing it like a month later. I'm just like, I think that emblem is from that raid anyway. I don't know whatever raid it was. But yeah, I think that's fine. And like they always do like a ton of free ones, right? That you can like redeem codes for. And like I do it, and I'm just like, sure, yeah, I'll take a free emblem, whatever.
Yeah, just make things go in my collection.
Exactly. It's just like this. It's like the make the number go bigger. Now I have more emblem pages. This is cool. Look at all these emblems I have on this page. I don't even remember where half of these come from.
I don't even think I've entered any of them from the collector's edition for Final Shape, to be honest.
We are truly base creatures, and like it's just the little things that keep us
absolute lizard brained from this video game.
I mean, before we like started recording, we were just talking about how much of a fucking problem I have with trading card games. So yes, absolutely. I'm literally just like shuffling Magic cards right now, just to like keep my hands busy during recording. So
this is the addiction, multiple addictions all in one place.
Yeah.
But I guess before we get into like the TWAP stuff, I'm just curious. I want to get an Onslaught vibe check from y'all. You're still enjoying it, or like are you chasing anything in particular, like roll wise, weapon wise still, or are you starting to kind of feel like I'm
kind of at the point where like there's a couple of things that I would really like to have, but like I'm kind of good mostly. Like I have been in the mines enough. I was like the other day I was like trying to hunt for like a better shiny edge transit. But then I was doing some testing on some like regular edge transits with the rolls that I was looking for. And it turns out the shiny edge transit that I have is exactly what I wanted to begin with. So I'm kind of good. But yeah, I mean, there's like a few like couple of things that I would kind of tweak a little bit. But I'm more just kind of like running it because it's fun to like just kind of see what I get now that everything's out. I haven't done any hunting for really any weapon since Hammerhead came out, to be honest. I haven't gone for like a Luna's or a Blast Furnace really at all, which I might do, but there's like so many other things that I want to kind of get done before I get to that. Just kind of like in my little mental checklist, I'm like trying to go through and finish up like seasonal titles before all that stuff goes away. But
that's a good point.
Still enjoying it, but I have largely like quit kind of like super hyper focusing on it because I've like largely kind of gotten mostly what I want out of it, and the stuff that I don't particularly care about, I've still got like the curated role. So
I would say I'm generally in a similar spot as you. That there's a couple more things I want to chase down. But I still also think I will start trying to focus on getting other checklists or last minute things. I have not done any bounty prepping, but I might do some fucking bounty prepping.
Unfortunately, I started.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go super hard and do like, oh, I need to get all these weeklies and all this weeklies and mid max whatever. Like I'm just
passively doing it.
Yeah, I'm
probably
just
tell you
gonna,
about
like,
ascendant challenges, you guys.
I'm just gonna.
I've been doing those.
Hell yeah.
I've done that kind of stuff a couple times in the past for stuff. Like this time, I'm like not as like super gung ho about it because I'll be fine. I feel like overall.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of gonna probably just grab a bunch on each character and see where it gets me at that point, and that's good enough for me.
I think that makes sense.
But
yeah, I'm only really doing it on one character, so like I'm not gonna get as much as I could, but like
you get like 12 levels, which is not bad,
Yeah, like I'm still gonna play a shitload of that game when it comes out. So
yeah, that's pretty much my thing too. Of just like I pretty much already know. Well, some of those plans. Turns out getting an email at Friday at 10 o'clock about a certain video game
Correct.
event
that's fair.
is maybe throwing some of that up in arms. That I was
but that's very exciting stuff.
I was gonna say talking about going and then being like, actually I'm not gonna go. Then maybe now I am going because I got press access, so that's gonna the whole thing. But that kind of was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have the whole week now to just play Destiny and do whatever. Well, now it's like,
no, you won't.
I'll still have a couple days. We'll still be able to do our stream, of course, on the Legendary campaign on that day, but. After a couple of days after that, so now it's like, okay. So I don't know. I'm not going to go too crazy about it because I'm even doing all of this, which would be like maybe beneficial to like jump into the day one raid. Like I don't even think I'm going to be able to do that. So I'm just going to watch from the sidelines for that stuff at this point and enjoy that aspect of it.
Well, I got a Twitch stream for you.
That's right. I'll be there.
Twitch.tv/Cam Koenig on Friday, June, whatever date that is.
Yeah.
June 7th, baby.
Thank you.
That's right.
I'll be running with my crew for as long as it takes.
As long as it takes.
We are committed
in under 48 hours
to crossing that fucking finish line.
Hell yeah. You guys got this. You did Rolk or not Rolk?
We did Nezarek, and we didn't do challenge mode, but we cleared all the reprise raids on contest. So
okay, Crota was not easy. So
Crota was not easy.
yeah. So I think that's some experience there.
Yeah. I feel good with where we're at, especially with Pantheon coming up. So
I just I have a feeling, I don't know, I'm hoping, I have like a feeling that this will be the first more than 4 encounter raid in a little while.
Sure. Yeah.
It could be 5, could be 5 plus an opening or whatever. At least it'll have an opening, right? Like where the last one didn't. So
sure. I know me and Mike or a good part of this weekend, we're watching the WoW Guild Echo do their first time run of Last Wish and then King's Fall,
dude,
which was super fucking fun to watch.
Yeah,
highly recommend going and watching those VODs if you haven't seen it.
Pretty
if you like raiding at all, go fucking watch those. It was an absolute blast.
Yeah, because the context, they're WoW world first WoW raiders.
Yeah, they are literally the #1 guild in WoW right now.
Yeah,
wow.
And they've all played they've all been playing Destiny 2 for a week. I think they said some person on the team had only played for 10 hours total or something like that. And they just all 6 of them went into Last Wish completely blind and just figured it out.
Yeah.
And
the way to do it for sure.
They did everything legit. They didn't cheese anything. I think it was a total of
so much. They had so much fun that they just went right into King's Fall, which is really cool, actually.
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
Yeah, but there was a lot of talk during that stream because they had on a bunch of Destiny content creators for doing casting and basically helping explain that because obviously a big part of that channel's audience is WoW people.
Yeah,
and raids in Destiny and raids in WoW are a little different. And so they had a bunch of conversation about stuff like that. And one of the topics that came up was just compared to the scale of something like Last Wish or a King's Fall, where do you think the final shape raid is going to sit? Or what level of difficulty do you kind of see it being at? And it was very interesting to like hear some people that like play the game, you know, essentially for a living, kind of talk about that stuff. And like it seemed like a lot of people are just like, I just kind of want it to be like, I think it would be in a good spot if it was like slightly harder than Crota, maybe around like a Vow of the Disciple level of difficulty for contest. I think that would be good. But I also think it would kind of kick ass if they broke away from the like core 4 encounters thing where like, fuck it, here's 5. Like that'd be cool, you know? Like I don't want it to be like as hard as Last Wish was, because
that was fucked up.
But I don't think it will be, and I don't.
Yeah,
I
don't think so either.
I think that contest specifically, I think Bungie has like kind of acknowledged as like, I wouldn't say is a mistake, but maybe like a little bit of a misstep, you know?
Right.
So we'll see what happens, but I'm really excited for it. I was literally talking to somebody today just about how fucking excited we are for whatever the fuck that raid's going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be amazing. I really think so.
Like I'm excited for the campaign and all of that stuff, but like the raid is like 99%, I think, of what I'm here for.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to see just like what that place looks like, what it ends up, what you end up having to do.
Fucking music sounds like. Yeah, with the music. No way that music doesn't fucking.
Yeah, it's gonna be incredible. God. Like, how does like we've seen The Witness in just like weird, vague cutscenes, and seen it's like you know, maybe like we've only really seen
how they're gonna animate him in gameplay is gonna be
like like how does that fucking like how are they gonna animate him that way, and like is like, you know, we've only seen it like does it have other forms, or is it do other things? Like we've only really seen it do like it does like
this Witness's crit spot.
Yeah,
we've
seen like
there's
the weird,
like 30 heads in there.
Yeah, we've seen like the weird slicing effects they can do like in the trailer. Like, does that involve gameplay? Like, what other powers could they even have? And like they clearly have like power over like space in general, and just like I'm just super curious like what that entails.
Especially like really zero gravity moments too, because like in the lore, like that's a big thing in the Witness's repertoire.
I could also see them like doing some interesting stuff with like, because like the lore of the Witness is essentially that like the reason that that they've kept us alive so long is because they fucking hate us and want us to suffer. Yeah. And like I could see them just like really fucking just like ramping up that rate a little bit because of that.
Yeah. Like that's kind of what I'm hoping for, is like you saw a little bit of that in that trailer that they released like last week or the week ago, when you have Cade kind of talking and us like kind of fighting through the Traveler in these moments, and then you had the Witness just going off like at the end and does all this effects, and like it's clearly setting up there like they are reaching like a moment themselves, the Witness, as like a moment where like I'm tired of these motherfuckers like trying to like get in my way, and now they've like gotten all the way here like I'm tired of this shit. I'm like, and that like that raid feels like that's going to be that moment where they were like, all right, you motherfuckers, like I'm done with your shit, and like
spiteful, hateful, torturous. Evil.
So
like it's gonna be great.
It's really cool, because I don't know if like lore wise we have necessarily had a raid boss that has as much like just pure vitriolic hatred towards us as the Witness. I think the rest of them have been like just
had their own motivations,
evil.
You know?
Right, yeah. Like, I don't think Nezarek hated us. He was just kind of an evil motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
Rolk would probably be the closest, right?
I think Rolk hated us. I
think he hated us.
Like,
you
were beneath me.
Yeah, he kind of like a lot of his talk was kind of talking about them being like, he was like calling us like children and stuff, and like you know, being like he was like kind of like talking down to us a lot. So I don't think it was like hatred as much as it was just like whatever.
Fucking hates us.
The Witness hates us on another level for sure.
Yeah. So I think that'll be really cool to like see that stuff kind of come out.
Yeah, the VO throughout that raid is going to be.
It's going to go crazy.
Yeah. Can't wait for that stuff.
Literally the more I talk
this is like the third time we've talked about this.
I know.
On the podcast also, which tells you how like genuinely very excited we are.
Totally. Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, circling back a little bit, just because I was curious. Ari, are you still? What are your thoughts on Onslaught right now? And what are you still chasing stuff, or where are you in a similar boat as us?
Still chasing stuff. I've checked off most things that I need to get. I'm feeling very good. Got my recluse. That's great. I've got a shiny of just about everything, except for the 2 newest guns. I am basically just chasing Blast Furnace and Luna's Howl. There's like 2 that I want to get. I want to get like something One for All on Blast Furnace and
Connect Tremors.
Probably, yeah. And then Heal Clip, Kill Clip or Heal Clip Incandescent on Luna's Howl. I don't really care for a PvP role because I don't like hand cannons in PvP. Right. I already got a good PvP hand or Blast Furnace, and I like pulses in PvP. So, and then I would really like a Firefly One for All Midnight Coup. I like,
sure.
Yeah.
Who amongst us? You know,
it's great.
I've gotten like
it's really good.
Firefly Desperate Measures. I've gotten like Kinetic Tremors One for All. But I'm like, okay, but one that just kind of threads the needle on that I would really like. And that's it. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I definitely was browsing Reddit. Mistake number
Terrible
one.
idea.
Yeah, I know.
Idea.
The Destiny subreddit in particular seems a lot of people didn't quite understand that the enhanceableness of the Brave weapons is not going to include mag and ammo, like in barrel. That is something that is exclusive to raid adept weapons, which was clarified in the PvE podcast with Chris Proctor. If you would like a source on that, if anyone wants to go check that out. So some people were pretty bummed out when that started getting talked about. And also people are just starting to get very burnt out on the random roll chase. Like I saw that, crafting versus random roll thing just keep coming up like many threads over the course of the weekend. And I have mixed opinions about it. I don't think either is like amazing, but I do, and we've talked about this plenty of times, Mike, like I do think that like, okay, let me just get 5 of this fucking red thing and then I'm done. At least I don't have to stress about it. I did work for those 5 drops. It's not like they were easy. But I do like with these guns, the Brave weapons, like, oh, let me, I got this one. Let me try this one out. And let me try. Like, I don't really have that with crafted weapons really anymore.
Right.
And I did miss that a bit of like, okay, like I will try Repulsor Brace Frenzy on Recluse. I have my Repulsor Brace Desperate Measures, which is the one that I would consider the best. But like, okay, let me, on my way there, I'm having fun trying things as well. And that has been lost a little bit, but I do think that how things have shaken out for like variants of guns and 12 guns simultaneously in one loot pool is pretty brutal. I am glad that they didn't all drop at once. I think that would have been bad,
that
actually.
Would have been a nightmare. But I also think that 1 a week was way too much. It was way too slow.
Ultimately, how they changed things to be 2 a week, very good. I think it worked really well. I just it's a brutal grind. If you're like looking for something, as someone that like went through the Recluse grind, and it took me like 70 drops of that gun before I got a single shiny that I just wanted one because it's my favorite of the bunch. And then like 50 to 60 mountaintops before I got the auto-loading recombination. I'm sure it's way worse for a lot of other people. Like I know.
I know people trying to hunt for like a god roll shinies of every weapon, and I'm like, I don't know why you would do that to yourself, my guy.
I think that's a mistake, and but it's tough, it's rough, If Onslaught wasn't good, which it is great, and it obviously like kind of scratches a different itch that Destiny has never really had an equivalency for. Like it's like what Strike Playlist wishes they were as far as like slaying out and actually like zone control and handling enemies and stuff. Like I think it's great and it's a super fun activity, but I think if it wasn't good, we'd be having a real dark timeline situation right now.
It'd been pretty bad.
Back to the days of like farming fucking public events for exotic drops. Like, shit.
Yeah. I definitely think it's like I think we talked about like you said, the crafting versus random drops a bunch here, but I think the changes they made recently with like the last patch where they basically added a lot more drops to So Onslaught across the board
Yeah.
definitely helped a lot because I think you're just getting a lot more drops in general. So I think that helped for sure. But I and then like, the shiny stuff I'm fine with overall. I still like that idea of just like trying to hope and see a shiny and that adding like an extra kind of pursuit stuff, like an extra like level to the pursuit rather than just getting drops of the guns. I do like that stuff. I think it's fine.
I would like super love to see them do this type of thing again in the future. Yeah. Maybe with like a smaller, like a little bit more limited loot pool. Maybe like, oh hey, first month or week that a dungeon's out, you have a chance of getting a cool looking ornament on it. Like, that shit worked for me, and I think it works for a lot of people.
Or even what I would like is making the higher tier difficulty things making them feel more worthwhile to do by putting those kind of shiny things as drops in those of being like, hey, you do a master dungeon or a master or like some dumb legend bullshit exotic mission that you're going to do once anyway. Or I guess it wouldn't really be an exotic mission, but just like something like that, or maybe like a seasonal activity, having those be legend, like have these shiny versions be like a chance of dropping and they're like, the multi-perk versions of those guns from those activities, because like so many of those activities, right, are like they're like fine as like, oh, I'm gonna do this once for the title and then I'm never gonna care about this thing again for months of the season.
The
like,
only reason
I think those would be
there's like no reason to run master raids outside of getting the title, because it just doesn't feel like rewarding enough, honestly.
Giving like the different deterministic options for adept weapons, right? Like what we'll talk about Pantheon in a little bit, but like I think that's been kind of a cool thing to see those at least crop up somewhere else. But also like artifice armor, like they just added that into the competitive PvP playlist,
right?
And it's like, come on, y'all! Like, why are we hoarding this into like very specific things? I think, or like because a thing I've been seeing a lot on the Reddit again, sorry everyone that I'm there, is like people hate grinding dungeon loot because it's so, and I know you guys have like a very similar experience here, it is so like nebulous, and I totally, I feel that like if you're looking for a thing, like I will never get that last duality fusion rifle for crafting ever. I like recognize that because it's such a fucking crapshoot for it, but like if master dungeons or whatever, you could like get a quest or like something in your inventory that you could attune. Bring that attunement back. It's like you're going to get a drop of this gun from every encounter on master if you complete it.
Like
in addition to a piece of artifice armor.
I fully have just given up on getting the trace rifle from Ghosts of the Deep entirely because like it is just not worth running that whole thing to try and get it.
Yeah.
And that's why I
haven't given up yet, but I'm close.
That's why I think it was last week and I used Fireteam Finder for the first time to just farm the first encounter of the Warlord's Ruin dungeon so I could try and get a better Indebted Kindness. And even after like 3 solid hours of just doing that boss encounter, I got maybe 3 drops total of that freaking sidearm, and only one of them was like semi decent. Lead from Gold Adagio, which I've used it now. It's better than the one I had for sure. But I could have a Lead from Gold Volt Shot one, which I think would still be
I just
way better.
Fully don't believe that Volt Shot exists on that weapon.
Exactly. I've
personal experience.
Yes, I'm right there with you. I've never gotten a single Volt Shot drop from that.
I think that Bungie is fucking
this whole time.
lying
They're
to us.
They're lying.
The 3 I have in my vault, I'm not going to talk about right now. I'm so sorry.
They're not real, Ari.
They're not
Look
real.
again.
Yeah, they're not. They're gone. Deleted because they don't exist.
My heart the whole time.
They don't exist.
I think I don't
know.
There's room
solution.
for more deterministic loot, right? Like, if we're gonna have random drops, like we gotta have more options as far as getting them. And like, Onslaught is good because it has like the attunement stuff, which isn't perfect, but like then you just get a fuck ton of drops. But like I don't think, Mike, that there would be any harm in Legend if one of the 3 chests at the end of Legend Onslaught had a guaranteed shiny in it. I really don't think that would hurt anything.
Same, 100%. I don't think it would either.
Because it takes a lot of work to get there,
or
you
at
know?
least like once you get like maybe you get like 1 at 30, 1 at 50 or something. Like because I know like the first thing people complain about is like, well, I got my shiny, and so you having a nice thing totally invalidates me having a nice thing, which isn't how that fucking works.
Not how it works.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I feel you for sure.
Yeah, I know, I get it. And people want their special things and their. I mean, like we're talking about Pantheon, and like that's literally built around giving people special limited things for playing this game like an absolute degenerate. But you know,
me,
and that stuff is there. But I don't think I don't think I feel like having things in the game that much. I think like Pantheon can exist in the way, but like I don't think it needs to be in every single thing. So I just don't think it really needed. I don't think some of the stuff that is as exclusive as it feels sometimes needs to be that way.
Yeah,
but ultimately, but yeah. Just to close out on my last minute onslaught things as well. I'm pretty much just nearing where you are, Cam. Where it's like I do want a better shiny. I did get a shiny blast furnace drop, and it's not bad. But again, it's like more PvP focused because ultimately that pulse rifle does have a lot more PvP perks on it than anything. But I would like
feels very like PvP centric.
Yeah, but
that's
the week before the map pack, right? Like you could see that there was at least some thought that
but they do also both have some decent PvE roles. Like I do have a kinetic tremor. I want to try this kinetic tremor's frenzy roll that I have.
Yeah, that sounds super fun.
That sounds great. Yeah,
but I do want to try and get a kinetic tremor's one for all because I believe what the kinetic tremors can proc one for all, and it gets the damage. It gets the damage bonus. And the big thing with blast furnace is because of its mag size, it can proc kinetic tremors twice. Compared to like any other pulse rifles in a single mag, if you're able to, hit your shots.
That's really cool.
So it is like it can be kinetic tremors can be pretty strong on that thing, and for PvE stuff. So I would I definitely want to chase a better shiny down. I was trying to look because the shiny I got has keep away, one for all, head seeker frenzy is what that's what the perk says. So it's not like that. But I would like a slightly better one.
I mean, also here to vouch for the Rampage killing tally hammerhead that I've now been able to use. That shit fucking slaps.
Yeah,
dude. Like,
I have one of those as well, and it's pretty great.
It is the ad clear monster. I was like, all right, I will play a little hunter. I've been playing other classes like a true degenerate, and did the reload dodge, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, I get it. I get it now. I get it.
I understand. Because Rampage is still up, so then I can get Kill and Tell it, okay, all right, there's something here.
You're getting it. You're awakening.
But I'm still a warlock, all right?
I've been having
first
so much fun.
First step of denial. First steps.
My shiny hammerhead is Envious Assassin Desperate Measures, which is also very fun. Envious Assassin on that thing is a blast, let me tell you. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I still think Commemoration is a little better, but I'm having more fun.
It's the all-purpose workhorse, you know? Like
totally, yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Oh my god, I wish that Hammerhead was not void, Like, I wish I just didn't have to compete. If that thing was solar, was solar or arc, that would have been so nice,
Yeah. I think that would have been nice, for sure.
What's the Crota arc machine gun? Because that's kind of in that similar role.
It's like
I forget what it's called.
Song of Ear Ute. I'm looking at the one, the not very good one I have in my vault.
Would love to have those guns crafted someday, but nobody wants to run Crota, right?
I'd be open to it, but I was gonna say but Blast Furnace is kind of the main one I want a good shiny for. Other than that, like I'm feeling better about shinies I have overall. Like I think at this point, like some of them would just be like, it'd be cool if I got them, but if I don't get them, I'm also fine. Like I wouldn't mind a cool shiny hammerhead, but if I If I just get one, I get one. If I don't, I don't. That's kind of where I'm at with that one.
Yeah, I think the last two that I am like I quote want are like I would love a good shiny Midnight Coup, and I would love a shiny Falling Guillotine with Eager Edge. But like if I don't get those, then I'm still fine, right?
Yeah, for sure. I did get a really good shiny Forbearance, apparently, according to my dim, because it has unrelenting bait and switch, which apparently is. It has all thumbs up. It has all thumbs up on dim. I was using I actually started using a non-shiny one that I got a drop of as well, which has unrelenting chain reaction, which is also really good, just because it gives you that extra little kind of survival on arc with all the killing and stuff. But yeah, that one's been pretty fun. I haven't used Luna's Halve really much at all, but I actually got a shiny drop of that with Subsistence and Incandescent. So. That could be solid. Yeah. So,
I got not a shiny Forbearance that had demo Wellspring, which I was like, cool, set. I'm great with that. Neat.
Yeah.
I'm here for that. But the one Falling Guillotine, I think I got it this week. That was shiny it's the only shiny one I've gotten outside of the quest was Frenzy, Relentless Strikes, Whirlwind Blade, Eager Edge, and I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you're set.
We're fucking golden, baby.
Literally, you got both of the roles in that. That's great.
Yeah, I got a shiny Falling Guillotine with Relentless Strikes Surrounded and Chain Reaction Destabilizing. So that's also some good.
I don't think I've gotten one. So
good shit.
Time to get back in those minds, Cam.
I mean, I probably will. Is the problem.
The sicko shit I also do is I hold on to. I just save up a shit ton of those trophies and then just dump the trophies. Like
that's kind of what I've been doing also. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's where I'm at. Like I did a point where I saved up like 500 trophies over a course of a couple weeks and then just dumped it all.
Oh,
and I think that's where
I do actually have a shiny Fallen Guillotine. It's just Relentless Strikes Bait and Switch.
Hey, that's still good.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, I think I'm definitely, I've enjoyed my time with Onslaught, but I definitely feel like I've gotten the stuff I wanted mostly. So it seems like, if anything, it's just kind of everything I'm doing now is just for kind of bonus stuff. And,
it's like the ultimate podcast activity, you know, though.
Yeah,
it really is so chill.
Nice,
I'll just like watch that. I'll just like do that and have like a Northern Lion video on the other monitor or something.
I've just definitely had a lot of background noise just running those and just doing whatever. Great. So it is a nice activity for that for sure. But yeah, also this week, Pantheon.
Yeah.
The first week of Pantheon, we had, what was it? Atrax Sovereign. Was that the name of this week's one?
Atrax Sovereign.
Yeah. Yes. So we had our first 4 bosses. It was, what is it? Golgoroth. Caretaker, Explicator, Atrax. So four encounters, slightly remixed.
I think it was cool that they also did 4 bosses that have like very short, like relatively tight DPS phases. Yeah. Like I thought that was kind of neat that those are the first 4.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all kind of in that like same space in like every raid too, where they're like the second boss encounter that is like kind of like they're like at the time they were all like the damage check bosses, but now they're kind of like they're kind of all equal.
Yeah, I don't think Golgoroth necessarily was, but like all 3 of the others were like absolutely a wall for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Cam, I know you had a chance to clear it earlier this week.
Yes. And I have done this week's. I have platinum on all encounters this week. Yeah. So I am like ready to go for next week.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's my clan. My clan great time.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it as well last night with my clan, and we were able to get the 4 platinums as well, and yeah, quite a good time, like you said. Yeah. It was like a perfect kind of like combo of challenge for me, at least.
Yes, I am afraid of what is coming.
This at tier 4.
That last week is going to be so brutal.
We assume it's going to be these 4 fights in addition to 4 more. Not
it is 8 bosses on the last week.
The final week is
negative 20
specifically
power.
these ones as well.
Yeah.
Yes. What if they like threw other ones in the mix too? Like it was different every week. I just I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the only like difference being that there are like overcharges and surges are in effect for this, which makes it so that it's not like as hard as like contest mode technically.
And there's that like special. There's also like a special modifier that's called class warfare.
It's like class warfare,
and you basically when if somebody uses a class ability. That will like give everybody a damage buff, and it can stack
like a 10% damage buff per stack, and it like stacks on top of
Yeah, so you want to like
up to 30%, which is fucking crazy.
It is pretty funny though. Like we definitely had moments where it's just like, all right, everyone go in to do like the typical well slam. Yeah. And you just see a well slam, and then you see like 3 Titans putting barricades to the side of it, and like hunters like rolling or dodge rolling into the thing.
That's
to, like,
awesome.
Get it? So it's like to like get that on top of that to like get a damage phase. It was like a fun little extra thing to do.
My platinum run of Caretaker, because they also like the search was void for this particular week. I don't know if it's going to change for the next one. I imagine it would.
Yeah.
But we had like a tether going and like fucking well stacking 3x. I was hitting like 290,000 damage on the Caretaker with a fucking Taipon fusion rifle.
Hell yeah.
Which is awesome. Like just cooking that motherfucker.
Yeah,
right?
I was using my bait and switch edge transit, and that was a lot of fun.
Edge transit
it was cooking.
Fucking crushed it in this fucking mode this week. Oh my god.
We're so proud of you, sweetheart. You've come so far.
Truly the meta. It's not unironically. It was a meme we were talking about a couple weeks ago. It is legitimately like one of the best DPS subs.
So good. Yeah,
it's incredible.
So my fun story about Pantheon this week is that I ran with some people in my clan. It was a good time until it just was not a good time. And then one person had to drop, and then we just couldn't find another person, and checkpointing is kind of broken. And a few of the other people were signed up to do another thing right after that. So we just like ended it there. So for a while, for like 2 or 3 days, I only had like the first 2 things done. And so I'm like, well, what if I actually tried out Fireteam Finder for the first time? And so I did. And I got with one group that was not like, I don't know. I didn't like playing with them. They were not very engaging or fun to play with.
Yeah, sure.
A few like little like try-hardy style people, and one person got like upset that they just weren't able to execute, and so they just like fucking rage quit in the middle of the like planets encounter, and that group fell apart. And so I'm like, all right, well, fuck. I guess I'll give it one more shot. And I like found another group, and they happened to be on the planet's encounter. And we ended up like, I vibed super well with them. It was very funny that like I had a much better time playing with, and also they were better players in the second group. But like the first group, all of the people had like super try hard emblems and shit. Like, oh, I've got like raid clear emblems, or I've got like trials flawless emblems,
day one bow.
And like totally. And like the fucking like 2 of the people that I ran with in my like actual successful Pantheon run just had like the fucking Among Us emblem, and just like silly fucking like they were just vibing. Somebody would die and be like, oh, that fucking sucks. Like it was like a really good time. And also they were just like out DPSing the fuck out of these dudes. So it was just like a nice reminder that like sometimes people who are like say that they are good at the game are not always the people that you want to play with.
And that it's not that serious, you guys.
It's not that serious.
We're
and
just
also
having a good time. We're playing a game.
What like the strategy for Atrax this week is the one that people just do now, which is just like fuck it, just like completely fuck her up with Parasite.
Yep.
And like everybody thought that was fucking hilarious because it is, right?
Yeah.
And like,
it's fun.
Yeah. The other group was just like, oh, like just being a little too tryhardy about it. And it like fucking sucked. But like, I don't know. I found a good group that I eventually ended up running with, and it was like super fun and really cool. We ended up getting platinum on the last two, so then I just like met up with some clanmates and knocked out the first two platinums, which wasn't too bad. But
yeah,
that caretaker one had like a really tight timing on it.
Yeah,
because that one essentially to get the platinum, you basically have to skip a floor of damage because it's just like it just takes so much time to get to a damage phase.
Yeah, for my clan group, honestly, more than anything, what it was just like we haven't done some of these raids in like a year plus.
Yeah,
what the fuck do we do again? So it was like that. It was like getting that kind of like rust off, and then just getting back into that like execution mode. And then like once you could tell definitely from our like runs where it'd just be like a couple pretty scuffed ones. And then we like figure out like an aspect and get it down, and then we get like kind of our DPS better in check, and then we're golden. And that was like a lot of it was like that like basically 4 times in a row because we were like remembering like, oh right, Golgoroth, we had to like do this shit, and then like, oh the 2 people that were like running into like the new things that have kind of been added, which like for Golgoroth is the now when you're standing in the pool, 2 people get the cursed unstable light. So you 2 have to go run up together to go do that, but you can still blow each other up with that buff. So that was definitely the first couple times where like 2 people were like, all right, we're running up the thing, and then just Guardian down, and then just both go down because they were too close to each other, and they just blow each other up, and it's like,
they
okay.
Also like added in like invisible taken minotaurs that are like orange bars by where people would be taking the buffs, which I thought was interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Caretaker, I know they added. Caretaker was like largely similar. I know
it was pretty much the same.
If you're like running through and like collecting the symbols, then now every time you get hit by one of the darts or bees, as I like to call them, then you get a stack of pervading darkness. So it's like you have to be like really good at like
and
taking those out as you see them. Otherwise, like you're only gonna get like 1 or 2 symbols. And then there's also like arc shielded taken phalanxes that like basically harass the people who are doing the like babysitting stuff.
The stun people. Yeah. We call those like flying things spaghettis or pasta.
Oh, that's good.
We call them the pasta. But there's pastas also in like the room where like the runner you go into that room to like grab the symbols. So there's like pasta now just like randomly like flying around in that room now.
That's hectic as hell.
Yeah, so that was a lot more hectic. But we got that pretty down.
Yeah, the third fight I thought was the most interesting in terms of the change, which is now the fire tornado that you normally see like towards the end of the fight or like after a DPS phase just happen all the time, and they move around. And they do a fuckload of damage.
They're pretty they're especially fucked because like they will like appear and like go around the triangular like platforms.
Yes.
So like it can be like it can like super fuck over like those planetary moments where it's like, all right, we gotta call out our planets or like kill the big yellow centurion guy, and then you're just shooting them, and all of a sudden a fucking fire tornado just spawns on your platform with you. You're just like, oh fuck, and then you go
that minus 20 is gonna be very fun.
Yeah,
for a while we thought that they were like
specifically
chasing you, but they're like set for like a triangle pattern, which is in and of itself also brutal, but like it's easy to predict. And then they also made the change where whenever you do the first planetary alignment, fuck you, Tormentor time, baby, let's go.
Fucking spawns.
I am so not looking forward to fighting a Tormentor on minus 20.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my gosh.
that was pretty brutal for that.
Yeah, they did that in Atrax also. There's like a Tormentor that appears in the bottom and the top now.
Well, so it's just the bottom one because we learned. You can learn very quickly is the one in Atrax you can literally completely ignore. Granted, that's because you can do the kind of the damage cheese to an extent where you can just kind of like dump your worms on her, and then your worms or your thunder crashes or whatever supers or whatever
or both. you know?
Yeah.
Preferably both.
That'll just kind of and that just like leaves the tormentor just kind of like aimlessly wandering around in the rooms. Like we just kind of left him alone. And but in the third encounter, with the planets, like you cannot ignore that tormentor because
he does go away whenever you activate DPS phase. I did notice.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
But you should probably kill him because he will fuck you up otherwise.
Because there's just like he spawns like basically in the middle of that whole arena, so he's like already like actively there in the battle,
he's like in the shit.
And then like basically like that was definitely like the fight that took us the longest, just because of like it was like having the ad clearers kind of get down, like we have to like immediately nuke that guy more or less kind of mentality. It's like literally somebody in our group, we like tried a couple rounds and that was like the thing that was holding us up, and then one person just went, fuck it, I'm getting div, and then when that thing spawns, I'm gonna put div on it, and then everyone just fall in and just fucking nuke this guy.
I know
when we changed to that, we just nuked him. We just nuked the shit out of him, and then just continued.
We ended up. I think we had one warlock burn a well right before DPS, just over by where the rally flag is, and just like try and focus him down from there. I know some people just were like, all right, it's not going to be great for DPS, but we have to survive. Like, I'm going to burn a Celestial Nighthawk on this motherfucker. And it takes him down.
Yeah, because it's not like the Onslaught ones where they're like big and you can't do anything to them. You can like string them up or blind them.
Totally.
It's like a tormentor of that
like
level.
Ultras, essentially. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So like you have that aspect, but that's definitely. It definitely became that priority number one of like, all right, all the planets aligned. You hear the tormentor like bang, scream, and you're just like, okay, everyone go fucking ham on this guy. Like, I feel like that's just going to be the natural
thing. Whenever I first
thing.
heard that, when I was like watching, I think like Gato's group run Pantheon whenever it launched, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? God damn it.
Yeah, get ready for a whole campaign of these fuckers.
I am not looking forward to that.
If subjugators are like half as destructive to the battlefield as tormentors are, like, and there's now 2 types of those enemies on the field, like, fuck yeah,
I can't begin to tell you how much I'm not looking forward to the bats and the melee dudes on contest mode. Holy fuck.
Oh yeah, suppression. Yeah. Like the bats screeching at you while you're jumping and then you fall into a pit is like a thing that
I know I'm going to die that way like 10 times at least.
Yeah. Like that's definitely gonna be something to contend with. I definitely did not expect, some of these changes. Like admittedly, like I would say those first 2 encounters, like it did not feel dramatically different, but but obviously like when you bring a tormentor into the fucking mix, it definitely makes it, it definitely feels more like, okay, we have to pivot at least like a little bit here to like focus this thing. So I'm super curious how they're going to do it in these additional bosses, because we assume
Rolk plus Tormentor really fucking upsetting, actually.
I'm curious if Rolk will have a Tormentor.
If he just spawns on that platform while you're fighting doing DPS with Rolk.
I can't imagine they will actually do that. I can't, like,
that would be so awesome.
Yeah. I'm like actually afraid of what they're going to do to like that DPS phase, because it's already hectic enough.
Yeah.
I'm like going to go and look up, because they if you check on Braytech, it does have.
It tells you the next week.
It tells you like that stuff was look at like secret triumphs, right?
Yeah, like the stuff was next one data mined.
Yeah, next one just adds Oryx on top of it.
Yeah.
Which Oryx at -10 is still pretty tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
But it's like all of them, and then after that it's Rolk, and then after that it's Riven and Nezarek.
Yeah,
fuck that.
Riven has to be done legit, right? Like, they have to do something that makes it legit.
If it's -20, I feel like they kind of have to. Like, I don't think you can do that DPS.
You probably still could, because people are soloing Riven right now.
I guess.
Yeah.
But also, I really hope, like, I am going to be doing for like a few hours, I think probably this weekend, like with people in my clan that want this title. We are going to be practicing Riven for a few hours, because it's just like, it's going to be so much easier for us to do that if we just have that muscle memory done already.
Yeah, have the knowledge.
Our group did it again like a few months ago, like I think it was November maybe. Like I was just like, I want to run Riven legit. Who's down? And I got 6 people, and we did it, and it was just so fun. It is just
it's super fun. Yeah, it's like one of the most engaging raid fights they've ever made. Truly.
Yeah, it's one of the best boss fights, most epic. Like 2 teams of 3 that are separated for a long time, like 10 minutes apart from one another, that have to do 2 rooms in their dedicated groups that like have to be working together, have to be on top of it, have to also be communicating back and forth.
Yeah, everybody's actively doing stuff, and those like
so
those are like the best encounters in all the raids are when everybody's kind of active and participating. That's why I liked about this week too, because there was like I guess minus like 8 tracks. But minus, well, I mean, everyone's still doing a little bit of some things in 8 tracks. But like Golgoroth, Caretaker, and
once you get stuff set up,
planets, like everybody's got to be actively doing stuff. And like the fact that it's like even 5 under, like it felt like it wasn't like it didn't really change like the DPS strategies by any means, but at least made like the ads I'm fighting are like a little bit more of an active thing that I need to be more mindful of compared to like anything else like obviously like in stuff like 8 tracks and stuff like that where it's just like okay these ads kind of matter again, that like these enemies that are just kind of running around, like they can shoot you and hurt you. So yeah, I definitely think for my group, like I don't think we're gonna there is like 1 or 2 guys that are like, I want that title, and then so I'm just like, good luck. You can go find those other groups, because I'm willing
here for it. Yeah,
I'm willing to do this next week. I definitely think I'm definitely playing it by week. So like if we do, I'm probably gonna jump into a -10 and see how it goes. Because granted, like now we've done the 5. And so like it seems like it's gonna be those 4 bosses, but like you said, plus Oryx. So like we already have kind of the vibe of those down. Obviously they're gonna be a little bit harder now, but I'm definitely
plus tormentors.
Oryx, yeah. If they added, I have no idea what they're gonna do with Oryx. Like I'm guessing they're gonna maybe we'll see like a tormentor in the mix in Oryx. God,
I'm interested to see what that looks
like. What if they put a fucking tormentor in the Thunderdome?
Yes, dude. Yes, that'd be so sick.
That'd be so fucked.
So fucked.
I think that like largely though, like Pantheon is like actually rewarding, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
like it's farmable, and you can get stuff from the loot pool for Pantheon is shit that's in every raid that has an encounter
every raid.
In Pantheon.
Yeah, and it's all adept drops too. So like we did,
so you get an adept every time you get a platinum, but you get like 1 per character per week.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Like I got a fucking adept Zauli's Bane with fucking Firefly and what the fuck was it?
1 for all?
Please hold.
Yeah, I know like some of them do have curated things on them.
Explosive Firefly.
Nice.
Which is like Death's Kiss.
Yeah, very good.
Very excited about that one. But
yeah, because I think for some of those, I want to say it's the Kingsfall ones. Like, didn't the Kingsfall adept weapons like have like 2 of the perks are like always kind of curated to drop like that? I think Vault was the same way, right? Like where it's like
Kingsfall didn't do that. Vault is the only raid that's done
Vault
that.
did that because they had their like original like curated role, which is all I use on my Fatebringer. So
yeah, exactly, because I have a couple of those Fatebringers
like
as well.
An explosive,
but yeah, like I was
Dragonfly, I think something like that.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, it's explosive and something else. But yeah, I'm right there with you though. Like, because you get 4 from platinuming it for those drops, and then with the triumphs you also complete for doing all of that. They give you drops of adepts too, so you got 7 total adept weapon drops just from doing like the 4 bosses this week.
Wow!
So it was pretty good reward, and you get the cool 8-tracks emblem as well. There's like you get like an emblem with those.
The one from the triumphs also, you get to like pick your masterwork, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and if you complete it, you get your choice of the raid exotic.
Yes.
Yeah. There's the quest.
Yeah, this week it was Eyes of Tomorrow and Touch of Malice, which is awesome.
Yeah,
that's so rad.
I just picked the Ascendant Shards because I have both of those. Like the only one I'm missing is Conditional Finality, which I imagine I won't get until like not this upcoming week, but the one after, which is gonna hurt.
Yeah. And plus you can get a bunch of red borders too. Like I got like 3 red border drops of weapons I have not gotten red borders from yet. And they were from across the raids. Like I got like the machine gun from King's Vault. I got a bequest. And then from that, like you said, from that final grab, you can pick from the exotics, but you can also pick a red border as well. So that was
nice.
pretty cool. And also you get a crap ton of spoils.
Because
if you turn in the triumph that gives you the emblem, I think I got like 40 spoils just from that alone. And then you get spoils from the encounters. So I think
like 5 to 10 per encounter.
Yeah, so
that's farmable.
Yeah, so like you get a shitload of spoils too.
Ari is just like, we need a group right now.
I've been trying to get a group all week, and my challenge in Pantheon was not successfly putting 6 people together. So,
I mean, that is a Herculean effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I will say, to be fair, and I think something that was not like, I don't know if they put any official wording out. I just saw a Bungie dev say this on Twitter. That future weeks you'll be able to still choose the different difficulty levels.
Yeah.
So if you want to just do the 4, like the plus 5 4 bosses, like in this coming week, even though the new ones are going to be coming out, you could still go do that within the weeks.
The way that they're set up is basically like you are picking a difficulty in like a Nightfall, essentially.
And then it'll add more bosses.
And higher difficulties.
And this one is like you're queuing into the thing called the Pantheon : Atrax Sovereign. Next week it'll be the Pantheon : Oryx Exalted, et cetera.
Yeah.
Got it.
So they're their own.
See, I wish I'd had some clarity on that. That's good because I'd like to get at least one run in before the end of all this.
Basically, I think you can like if you're interested in like the Bungie reward, they brought back the old like raid symbol ring if you complete one of the things of Pantheon, which is super cool.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
Put a ring on it. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's just good for that alone. Like I would be totally down to run that again.
Oh my god!
Yeah, because you get spoils and then do the platinums to get more of those potential adept drops and stuff. Like I'm down for that.
I would be interested to know if like next week, because like I'm gonna try to get platinum on all of these. I would be interested to know if I can like double dip and get like platinum on Golgoroth in the Oryx one, and then go back and do it on Atrax to get like hella adepts. I would imagine that's how that works.
I imagine it will too. It'll just be a weekly thing, like you said. Like I'll probably be like a weekly character thing where it'll be like,
but like
you get
also. I don't know if I have it in me to platinum 9 raid encounters in a week.
You know, yeah. Like, and that might be why they, if you're willing to do that, you can and be a sicko.
Sure.
Or like I feel like they should at least allow that because like if you're crazy enough to do that, where like. You can do that, but on the other end, if people just want to do the 4 and get the four adepts, that you can get in the Atrax lowest difficulty one or whatever, like that's still an option, and I think that's cool if they allow that. I guess we'll see, what ultimately it is, but I feel like they should, because why not? Like fuck it, like just let people.
I mean, the last
have their
week
weekly
you'd be getting like 17 adept drops. I don't know. That does seem kind of crazy.
But also, I feel like if you are the type of person that finishes and like gets this title, I don't know if you necessarily need that many adept drops.
Yeah, they probably have
already have them.
They probably already have a lot of adepts. Yeah, to be fair, for sure.
Yeah.
And I want to say like it's only I think the encounter ones are random drops. I want to say the ones from the triumphs are like more curated because
they are like specific.
Yeah, because I think you get the because I know like the
next week
the Smite of
Willem's
Moraine.
Terminus. Yeah, this one was Smite of Moraine
from King's Fall, and that one was curated.
Is Insidious, and the 4th one is Acacia's Dejection.
Got it.
Yeah, so those are some good options.
Yeah, I also like. I think it's kind of neat that they're. I really do like that they're doing this. I wish it was sticking around a little bit longer so there was like a little bit less of a time crunch, but I also kind of like that they're leaning into dropping something that is like very clearly not for everybody,
Yeah,
it's for the raiders.
Kind of neat. And I think that is something that a lot of stuff that comes to this game, I think for like very good reason, being like, this is for everybody. It's something everybody can enjoy. Like, this is something that, you're like,
I think
they're like trying to like raise the floor so that everybody can like kind of participate meaningfully. But I also think that they're like, seeing this is like kind of nice from just an angle of, there is like still room in their like design philosophy for people who want to like really go after this shit. And I think that's really nice.
Yeah. And I think the cool thing from this is like there's multiple angles to it, right? Like you said, like it is a thing that is for this certain echelon or like hardcore player, Destiny player, raid player. But because the aspect of like this is kind of free for everybody, if you're like somewhat newer or or don't have some of these expansions, you could go experience some of these encounters from raids and get weapons from those raids that you wouldn't have had access to before.
It's like kind of like a cool raid trial. For
exactly. And I think that's like a cool way that this thing can live too. And I think they were smart to like, even though it is for hardcore players, I think putting it all kind of sort of in this into the light sort of update where like there was still like Onslaught and other things like other new players could jump into, or like players coming back to the game, they could jump into Onslaught and be like, all right, let's check this out. And okay, yeah, these are all really cool weapons. I'm getting back to Destiny. Let's go. And then, oh, by the way, Pantheon, here's this raid thing too, higher tier to like maybe go like, oh, okay, let me try going up to that. Like, I think they were smart to like kind of pair that Pantheon with this other update. So I hope, if they do maybe do another Pantheon thing in the future, which I think they should or probably will.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think they should like, again, like pair it with this where like, here's some kind of like free big update. Maybe like when Moments of Triumph comes back around again, I feel like it would fit really well into that where like, here's Moments of Triumph and it can be paired with like some other activity,
like party games or something,
and have it
it's got fucking strike scoring on during it, which is so weird to be able to. Also, like it's just weird to not only like get points for killing somebody, but like taking out a small group of thrall and just hearing Lord Shaxx in your ear go like "fuck yeah!"
Having the Shaxx voice lines are pretty incredible.
It's really funny.
That's pretty incredible to have in those Pantheon things too. He's just like popping off. He's like, "You showed them what's what, Guardian," and you're just like.
I killed 3 thrall, my guy. Like,
we're not even doing DPS on a boss, and he's just like so hyped
this
about
is a sunshot. What else do you want me to do? Like,
it's pretty good.
It's funny though, Cam. Like what you're saying, I think also applies to the PvP map pack, right? Like that's not for everybody.
Totally.
And we don't know this for sure, but it would be cool if like those last 3 weeks after it comes out, like the trials of each week is one of those new maps for like the trials people of like, hey, you're gonna have 3 weeks of trials that are gonna be totally discovery based, like
that'd be cool.
Really figuring this out. I hope they do something like that, or at least maybe the first 3 weeks of trials after Final Shape comes out. But
that would be cool.
I think like it's crazy to look at this as like a free update. Obviously the game really needed this.
100%.
And not just from like long season woes, but like from a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, player sentiment, Lightfall, how that was received. So this is just like, it's very nice to see the ideal Destiny, like the what Destiny could be potentially. Of like, we're getting the PvP update and we're getting like a really cool raid PvE update and we're getting like a fun for everyone with tons of weapons and tons of fun to go around update, exotic missions coming back. And then it's going to lead us right into hopefully like one of the best expansions for the game that we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I am really excited. Like it is... Pantheon specifically has like made me excited to like log in and like get shit going on a Tuesday more than I kind of have been in a while, which has been really cool.
For sure.
And it's also just like fucking good practice for day one. Oh my God. Like being able to kind of get in that mindset has been really, really beneficial. Made me like feel a whole lot better about myself rating, especially with running with just like random like Fireteam Finder groups. Like it's been nice that I've been able to like kind of work on like communicating that stuff a little bit better and like doing all that stuff. And I'm having such a good time. Wish it came out a week earlier because that last week is going to be fucking tight. But like, I'm gonna do my damnness to get it done. Like, I want that title.
You're also gonna have to get that one 0 hour run sometime in that last week, because that's probably gonna be where you can get all the
that'll definitely be in the checklist for sure for these coming weeks, is getting all that.
God, I'm so excited about 0 hour.
Yeah, 0 hour coming soon as well.
I love Whisper, but it ain't no 0 hour.
Yeah.
You know?
0 hour is the shit.
0 hour.
Yeah, 0 hour plus grapple is going to be very fun.
Yeah, that's going to be super
I'm looking forward to that.
Trying to grapple around Trevor.
Excited to play 0 hour with buffed Arc Souls.
Exactly, Mike.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. And then I also wanted to see the updates to it, because like obviously they didn't make like it's. I'm expecting now we've had Whisper and like it got changes, but they weren't like massive changes.
But they were good.
But they were good. Yeah. They were good for sure. So I'm curious what they're gonna do for 0 hour. Like they're gonna make that boss room feel like a boss room more so than just like you come in and there's just like there's like 2 fuck you tanks and a big guy in the center who's just like there you got to shoot. So I'm hoping they like kind of like
tormentor probably.
That's because this could be their answer for everything now. Just oops, a tormentor just drops in.
It kind of works though.
It works though.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess. I think
soon it could be like oops, subjugator, or there could be more variants to it in the near future.
I think I would like it more contextually from like a story perspective. Where I guess like Pantheon is kind of whatever. I feel that feels more like an arcadey thing where it feels like 0 hours like still
like they're gonna
it's still gonna be like set like in a story moment, like they're positioning as like Ada is going
or something.
Ada is going back to this thing. So like I don't know. I don't expect to see any like tormentor or darkness stuff.
There's that fallen guy that freezes you at the end of the fucking 5-part wave in Onslaught.
Stop
it. Fuck that guy. Specifically, fuck that guy.
The dagger, the ice dagger, or like fallen guy is gonna show up. He's like, I'm back, motherfucker.
No, he makes dunking that rift fucking personal.
I fucking hate that man so much.
Yeah, he's just gonna run up on you. But we'll have to see. That's May 14th. So we still got like a week or two. But yeah, I'm stoked about that. But let's get into this TWAB. That we're already an hour 20 here. So let's get into this TWAB here.
A lot of it is a lot of stuff we've talked about, thankfully.
We kind of talked about the PvP map pack. We talked about that up front.
So we can great. Look at those maps. They're so good.
Yeah, the maps are good.
Pretty. Very excited. Yeah, I'll check them out.
I'll jump in and check them out for sure. I think and they talked a little bit of Pantheon. But there is one big thing here, and that is Rahool is getting an upgrade.
Upgrade. I put an upgrade.
In the final shape. So this will be definitely an interesting change for sure. Although we'll have to see how it plays out. That's definitely the vibe I'm getting from it. But I'll just read here from the TWAB about Rahool's frequent decryptor program, the RFDP, as you could call it. The experience of grinding out new exotic armor can be a time-consuming process. It can take quite a few runs to get the drop you're looking for, and many more to get that one that has stats that support your build. Besides that, with exotic armor pieces often forming the backbone of a powerful build, new players are regular acts to spend a long time tackling challenging content solo before being able to run builds that support the most effective tactics. Luckily, the Econ team has established a good working relationship with the Tower's #1 Cryptarch over the last year as we added exotic armor focusing, and we have managed to help Rahool set up a new promotional program of sorts that make farming the armor you want more deterministic and less dependent on rotators. Starting in the final shape, Rahool is going to be the source for new exotic armor that we release. So that's the big thing. He's going to be the new exotic armor guy. If you want that,
the only source,
the new exotic engram, the new exotics for the season or the episode or the expansion, where you have to drop some engrams at Rahool. When you first talk to Rahool after the final shape launch, he will introduce you to a new rewards program tied to his brand new reputation track. The idea is simple. The more you decode engrams with him, the more you increase your reputation with him. Once you completely fill the reputation track once and reset your rank, Rahool will allow you into an elite club, giving you access to a new tier of focusing. And they show screenshot in here, you can see Rahool has kind of the rank progression that pretty much all the other vendors now in Destiny have, more or less. Where you get to rank 16, you'll get shards and exotic cipher and all that stuff. But once you become one of Rahool's engram insiders, spelled EN insider,
Good.
Yep, that's a good one. You'll be able to purchase any piece of exotic armor for any character on your account for 1 exotic engram and 1 exotic cipher, in addition to the previous focusing options. Because this is tied to Rahool's new reputation track, there's no weekly limit to using this tier of focusing, as long as you still have exotic ciphers and engrams. You can keep rolling armor.
That's good.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big thing, because that, from at least how that sounds, basically it sounds like you can just dump your exotic engrams and prime engrams at Rahool, reset the rank, get that new focusing, and then if you have the ciphers and what was the other thing you need, an exotic engram, I feel like that'll just let you buy the new exotic armor for the season, right? That's what that sounds like.
Yep. It's just getting like another thing to rank 17 again.
This one I think will be like pretty similar to the gunsmith in that it's like relatively passive though.
Yeah,
like you don't have
but
to.
That kind of makes it more infuriating because like it feels like I have less control over getting more reputation to get to. Like I just want to get this new exotic,
right?
And now it's like so far beyond this 17 ranks. Like it feels like so time.
Yeah, I would be interested to know if like you would also just be able to like just decrypt one and just happen to get it, like keeping that like kind of random roll type thing.
Because there is.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, because like it says like Rahool is going to be the source of any new exotic armor that we release. So it could just be you drop the engrams and it has a chance to be one of those engrams. Let me continue here though, because I definitely have we have plenty more thoughts on this. With this change, we are also altering the way that old sources of exotic armor work. First, lost sectors will keep the same drop rates for exotics, but we will instead drop engrams whenever they would have previously dropped gear. Neomuna will also drop a new exotic armor when you complete a Vex Strike Force encounter, but we won't be adding any more new armor to the drop list after Season of the Wish. With these changes, we know you're wondering, how long will it take to get this newfangled tier of focusing? I've got the world's first race to prepare for what. Without going into exact numbers, the actions that will give you the most reputation will be precision decryption, aka tier 2 focusing, followed by advanced decryption, then opening an exotic engram, and last but also least, opening a prime engram. So if you want to be ready for the witness forces as soon as possible, make sure to stock up on exotic engrams and ascendant shards before June 4th. As with a little more than a full stock of exotic engrams, you'll be able to start focusing new armor. So that's so I think pretty much everybody. Yeah, I know, Cam, you said you pretty much just already had it already. I definitely start as soon as reading this.
I'm so bad at turning in my exotic engrams in the first place, so I just have 8 already.
Yeah, I started already doing that this week. Of like, okay, yeah, let me just start grabbing some exotic engrams and holding on to them as I get them from things, and I have a couple on each characters and stuff like that.
The playlist milestones, I think you can get them.
Yeah, you can get you can get 3 per character, more or less.
Yeah,
so that's not too bad. I definitely I think Ari, from your reactions, you seem the most iffy about these changes. I would say I'm kind of in the middle of this, and I see why they're doing this.
Sure,
but I still don't know if it's like 100% the right answer, but. I don't know.
Yeah, I just like I know I'm not saying that lost sectors were like fucking great before, because they definitely were.
Yeah.
I didn't like them. I didn't like they have to wait until like, oh, it's leg day.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can finally get my lunafactions or whatever the fuck I want to get. I didn't like that, and I do like the deterministic focusing options that we have. It's a little expensive. It's better than it was when it first came out, which
Yes.
they did reduce the cost a little bit.
Yeah.
I just don't like it being behind the wall of you have to max Rahool's.
That feels like a little much because
sure.
and like obviously like we don't know like the exact numbers, but it does feel weird to like be like, hey, look at this. Here's an easy way to get these like super cool new exotics. You're gonna have to work so much for it.
Like here's
you know?
a middle ground
Sure.
solution. On his rank, have it unique to character, so that way you can't hoard engrams on other characters. But number 10 on each character is the new exotic for the season.
I think that would be cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
For expansions, when there's 2, hopefully 2. The reason is like we're already gonna have to be grinding for these class items that we do not know how to get yet. Because I assume we might be able to focus them after we unlock them. But I assume unlocking them is going to be different than this, or potentially getting them at all is going to be different than this because of the nature of them. So I would expect that is going to be a random public event like the Neo Muna one that only happens in the Pale Heart. That is my guess currently.
Sure.
Yeah, and like the way that I kind of read it is like being the source of any new exotic armor is like, hey, once you fill it, then you get a new tier of focusing, which will let you just like focus on anything that you might not even have.
Yeah. And then, that's kind of what I'm reading that as too, is just like you reset that rank at the start of the season and then you're able to just pick up that new, then, you'll be given that tier 2, that new focusing. And as long as you have the ciphers and as long as you have Ascendant or an exotic engram, and I think it's an Ascendant shards too, you can just, start focusing that exotic and then grab it and then try and get the roll you want for it right out the gate. I guess
I'm also interested to know if the reputation resets after they move to the next episode or not. Or if it's something that just is going to be like kind of like Xur's reputation, where it's just like, this is your rep.
It just goes.
You can reset it.
I kind of see them
go up.
I kind of see them resetting it every season just to give
something
to chase. Because like
if that's the case, I think that sucks. Honestly.
Sure. Yeah. I don't really know. Yeah, because like I think your idea to have it on the track is not a bad idea. Although I know they've gotten like less away from that because pretty much all the other vendors that have this track nowadays are kind of across all characters, so you can kind of get that like they're not individual to characters.
But engrams are something that's like that are
they are unique to each character, so that's probably why they're gonna have it. Yeah, because like I definitely I've been over trying to get those things from Lost Sectors for quite a while. I just kind of, I just think it was I think it was a thing that made sense when they first introduced it, but now at this point it's like, so it's just, it's finding the particular week that it's up. If it's a Lost Sector that's even enjoyable to do on your own, on top of like, running it however many times to hopefully have a drop of it at all. Yeah. I know they got like better about it as they went because they had like knockout systems and stuff. So like, I just think it was just not like the exciting of a way to get a new exotic. Like I still generally miss the days of just like you could get it from kind of anything and it could drop. But I understand why they don't do that, because they talk about it here and on the other end of like, if you're a new player coming into the game right now, like it's, especially with like how it works now with Lost Sectors, it's like near impossible to get the exotic you would want to like start making a build you want, because you have to like, okay, I want to do this like solar build and I need the shards of Galanor on my hunter for this exotic arms. How many exotic hunter arms there now? There's like 8 billion hunter arms. So now I need to like go run this Lost Sector like maybe like I can run it 10 times and not even get just an exotic drop, or on top of not even getting the exotic I'm looking for, or 10 other exotics before they even drop that. So like I see it being like a completely, again, one of those systems that like, has been around for so long that like for a new player it's just going to be impenetrable to like try and access the stuff you want. So like this system seems very much with that in mind, of like people jumping into the game and having a more deterministic path to just be like, oh, okay, I can just rank this guy up by dumping the engrams I'm already getting, and that'll get me this thing, and then I could just have this page where I'm, oh, look at all these exotics, I can go pick the one I want, more or less is what it's doing. And then like, but yeah, like, so it makes sense from that perspective of like, from a player who's like newer or maybe hasn't played for a long time and has like all these exotics, they're just gonna have a really hard time trying to go chase down. But I definitely think for us who have, we kind of have all the exotics we could want, like, it's still like, it makes it feel like a little bit of a less exciting pursuit in some respects, right? Like, I think that's where we're kind of at.
And it's like more work for us, the people that are putting in the time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's definitely possible that it is, but it remains to be seen just because like, it really, all it really sounds like the work is just dumping engrams into Rahool.
Sure, which is chill.
Which is like, it's not like, it is like work, you're right, but it's not like exciting work, I guess you would say. That's kind of where my thing is about it, where it's just like, okay, so now every season is just going to be me and like 10 other guardians just standing in front of Rahool just dumping all my engrams, and that's going to be the exotic chase for the season. Like, it's definitely not the most exciting way to do it. But I also think that, like, obviously as mentioned, like, I don't think jumping into whatever law sector it is for the week and not being able to like, try and chase that down was super exciting for me at this point either. So I think there's maybe something better they could have done or tried. And who knows, like you said, there totally could just be some new activity that like unlocks after the final shape raid or whatever on the Pale Heart. And then that becomes like another place that we can go maybe try and get exotics or something. But we'll have to see if that ends up actually being the case, or if it really will just be like, hey, maybe like the first drops of those class exotic armor will come from something doing maybe the legendary campaign. Even maybe we'll just get one at the end because that's how they used to be. And then you'll at least just have that one. But then when you want to go get new ones, like, good luck. You're just gonna have to go pull them from Zur or Rahool or whoever now, and that's just like, okay, but like, I don't know. I hope there maybe is like another piece to this as well, but I'm also like willing to see what this ends up being, because if it ends up not being like that laborious to like just however many engrams it is to dump into Rahool or whatever, and ends up being that big of a deal to like just like, oh, I did that in like the first week and then was able to just pop the exotic out of there and then I have it now, that's cool. And then if that's all it ends up being, then like, sure, whatever. But I do hope it's like, maybe there's something else to it here, but I guess we'll see.
I think it comes also like from the thing, like, reputation tracks are literally my least favorite thing in Destiny.
No, I hate them. You're so valid.
I used to do them like twice for every vendor, or like the 3 playlist activities. And this is on me. I understand, to get that like the ornament for the seasonal weapon every season, because they, it's a thing that's like gated behind a thing, and there's seasonal challenges for it, and they burned me. They burned me so bad. So just like thinking about it, it's probably better. Maybe rep is way better on this track than it is with the other ones. Hopefully, it sounds like it is. Like a little over 10 exotics will get you through the track. It sounds like exotic engrams, which is still a lot, just for point of reference.
That's honestly quite a bit.
Yeah. So start saving on your other characters. You know what I mean? But the idea of it scares me so much.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something that could feel not great for sure once we actually start using it. It's like, oh, okay, I definitely feel the apprehension there as well for sure. So, but I definitely am curious.
Fingers crossed, it's better than it sounds, right? Like, we'll see.
Yeah, totally. For sure. It could, for sure. I'm curious how that'll go. And then, it could be a thing where maybe it feels not great here in the moment because we're going to get like a bunch of new ones up front in the final shape or whatever here with exotic wise, but maybe like in an episode later on when it's just like one you're going to get, I don't know if that'd feel as bad, but who knows? I'm sure it'll be a thing we'll just have to kind of feel out once we're in it. But yeah, that'll be something to keep in mind for sure. I know people are over the playlist, the ritual playlist, you know, I'm hoping that, you know, we'll be able to hear more about maybe some refreshes to the Strike or the Vanguard ops. Like I know, like obviously we're getting whatchamacallit Onslaught in there post Final Shape. So I'd hope that maybe relieves some of the like chasing of those engrams from those rituals a little bit. But like I at least appreciate that like this makes them matter just a tiny bit more again, because you can go play them to go get exotic engrams, and you got like there's 3 a week that you can go easily get now from just
it's
doing
also,
this stuff.
Like a minor thing, but it is nice that like it being a reputation track means there's like more ways to get like cores and shards, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
because I feel like I am just always kind of running out, but also just another fucking reputation track.
Man. Yeah. We've definitely hit
you, Ari. I feel you.
We've definitely hit the point, because if you remember when we used to have like we turned in fucking tokens and everybody was tokens, and then they switched to they started switching these tracks, and it was like tokens. And it was just like the tracks are like a nice change of pace, and now we've reached the other tracks. Now we've come to the other end where now every vendor is tracks those tracks, and it's just like, oh god, right? Yeah, because remember they're giving Hawthorne a track too. Remember for the clan stuff? They said that a week or two ago. so like we've
that one I'm at least okay with, because like
full circle
they haven't really touched clans since the fucking game launched.
And that's just do everything else, right? Like that's not
totally. Absolutely. Yeah, like whatever.
Yeah. So yeah.
Fuck, Mike, you're so right.
we've definitely come a little bit full circle with the tracks, but like I feel like it was somewhat of a unfortunate natural thing, right? Because it's like, all right, we need to. People are tired of this shit. We need to make a new thing, and it's like, we need this new thing. Now we have this new major system, and then they slowly put it out to everyone. So now they've legitimately made the full circle. I think the only person who doesn't have a track is Xur, right? And I know, like they said, Xur is going to change. So who knows? Maybe Xur will have a track.
Technically does, kind of, but like not like weekend Xur.
Yeah. You know? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. The Dare's
version of Xur, the multiverse version of Xur.
Yeah. The one you give cookies to every Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I'm open to this change, but I think it'll be a thing where, once the Final Shape launches and we see it in real time, it'll definitely be like, okay, yeah, this is maybe not great, or this is fine. Yeah. I think it'll be one of those things that we'll know pretty quick how that actually feels once we're in it. But yeah, the other big change coming to the Final Shape, which they talked about in here, is they're updating the icons for shaders in the game to give them a little bit more of a give you a better. These new icons are trying to give you like an overall a better idea of like what colors and other things to expect in the shaders. So I'll just go ahead and read what they say in the TWAB. Currently, there are some issues that can make the experience of applying shaders inconsistent. The first being that while each shader applies 6 colors, only 4 are currently shown on the shader icon. This can sometimes result in the shader appearing differently than players may expect from the icon preview.
That makes a lot of sense now.
Right? Yeah. Adding to this, the fact that all 4 color sections of the current shader icon are equal in shape and size, making it difficult to distinguish what the main colors will be when applied. There are also many shaders that have unique glows that players strive for, and with the current design, they are not represented. Gambit Jadestone is a great example of this. And so in this TWAB, they show basically like a before and after, where they have the Gambit Jadestone shader icon as it currently is, where it is the 4 kind of like, triangle colors as it is now. And this is what they're going to be doing to update. It says, to help address these issues, we've made updates to the shader icon design that includes all 6 colors for that shader. We are also changing the design in a way that makes the primary colors appear to take more space than the secondary colors for a more accurate representation with most gear items. Glows are also reflected in this update design, so it'll be easier to distinguish those shaders within the shader selection screens. So now they have a updated shader look for the icon. So basically you still have kind of the 4 colors and the triangle, but now there's just like a big ass diamond in the center, and then you can see there's kind of two colors that are in the inner diamond, and then there's kind of like these little kind of like, I guess like a border to the edges of the triangles, which show you what the glow is. So you see like there's like two kind of arrows on the top and the bottom of the shade of like the diamond in the center, and that's like what the glow will look like on there. So
I
like it.
Like that they're doing this change. I think it looks a little messy, but that also could just be me. I'm sure that I will get used to it and it will be fine.
I definitely think,
for the love of God, please give me a search bar.
That was a lot of the reactions I saw. Was like people seeing the icons and immediately being like, "Where's the filters?"
I really am like genuinely excited for this as somebody who like fucking loves playing around with shaders, but like, man, please, this is I think a very good step in the right direction, and like I'm happy that they are like taking time to address this like fundamentally like incredibly minor issue.
Right.
But I don't know. Shout out though. Just like looking at the shaders they had on there, they do have the best shader in the game favorited, which is Butterbark.
Let's go.
Shout out to Butterbark.
Shout out to
Butterbark.
Ultimate Chad favorite.
Genuinely,
favorite.
Butterbark looks fucking good on Forbearance. I'll fucking say it.
Yeah,
it does. I agree.
There's some
that's
some
what I
solid
run.
Forbearance,
So
solid Forbearance things for sure. Yeah, I think for me, I think like looking at these just like little diamond icons, I'm just like, okay, I don't fully get it, but I think like once I'm like actually in the menu and like doing like the previews and clicking through them
on and off,
then it'll be like, okay, this makes more sense. Like I think
also I really do
it'll
think
like
that
click
this is
in my brain
that like
better.
Will just be like once I get used to this, it's just like, yeah, absolutely, this is way better. What are you talking about, right?
100%.
Yeah.
We're now.
I
just
think
like,
that this is like
they just
genuinely
put, like,
a good change, but yeah,
for sure. Like like right now, it's just like they show just like the blocks. They show like all the shaders in the menu, and then they show like the before and afters, and it's like, okay, I get it generally, but then I need more. I need the visual of like previewing a shader, and then it applies, and then it shows me, and I'm like, okay, got it. Yep, okay, that makes sense.
Knowing what the glow is going to be is really helpful.
That's pretty nice. I
do a lot
wonder
of
if
my fashion is based on glows. So.
I wonder if because like I'm looking at I forget what the name of it is, but the first one that they have like favorited in that picture, like that one has like an animation effect. I wonder if that's going to appear on the picture, or if it's just, or like on the square, or if it's just going to be like a static image.
Yeah, that's a good question.
On the bottom are indicating that. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know possibly. If you like hover over some of them now, it says like, oh, it like has a cool effect on it. So like that honestly is just kind of good enough. But I would just be interested to know if they're like going to do that. If not, it is genuinely not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed.
But I am looking forward to this change and like going and like fucking around. I actually like, as somebody who is in the shader menu a lot, have not messed with favoriting stuff at all. Just because like
do it.
I did a couple.
At this point, I just kind of know where it all is.
I went through the same concern.
Yeah.
So, all I did was favorite like the memento shaders, because they like weirdly had those
they
like
hide those very strange.
They hid those like because I think they put them all together when they were like originally introduced. So it was like Witch Queen, so they're like a bunch of pages back, which felt weird to me. So I just like favorited all of those, so they're just on the top.
Also, I would like to bring something and then I can
up here. Go through.
Hi, what's up? It's Cam. I'm the #1 super black shader hater.
Let's go
in the world.
I'm number 2, so I'm here with you. Let's hear it.
I'm #1 fan over here, just by the way.
I was like going through, and I still have like all those fucking like Riven's Wish tokens that I'm just sitting on because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna use them for. And so I was like getting my Taipan ready to run Pantheon, and I was like, I mean, this thing, like, I like the feel of it. It would look really good if it was just like a jet black shader. And so I put super black on it, and it looks so much worse than the fucking like Festival of the Lost. Like,
I saw a couple people like doing that comparison too. Specifically, it looks like it's mainly like weapons. Like on weapons, like that is that. Festival of Lost,
like the
like
difference.
Black
it's like
is like much more.
The best way I can describe it
That's a bummer.
is like Super Black looks like an LCD TV, whereas the Festival of the Lost Keepsake is an OLED. Like,
yes, perfect.
That's like actually the best way I can describe that. I think.
Because I've seen images and people doing that comparison, and now you say that. Yes, 100%. I totally get what you're saying.
That's amazing.
So get fucked, Super Black shader fans.
Yeah.
You're in fucking shambles right now.
Shambles. Wait till Festival of Lost comes back around and the real Super Black is here, motherfuckers.
That's right, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You're in shambles right now.
Yeah.
You're fucking dog shit. I'm just going to get like accidentally too mean. I'm just going to stop talking now.
Super Black looks really great on my OLED TV. I'll say that much. So.
Oh, I'm sure it does, actually. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm using an LCD monitor. So
that's very funny, though.
No, it is like something funny that I'm just like, man, we've had Super Black in the game for a few months now, actually.
Yeah, it turns out that's just been here for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen how it looks on like armor or anything comparatively, like because you can't put it on armor. So
I've seen some okay use cases for it, but I think the most hilarious thing to me is that it makes glows on armor like a bright white. So like literally the complete opposite. So like somebody specifically took the Ghost of the Deep armor.
Oh shit! I did see that.
That is like all glow, but they put it on the Hunter cape, and they were just like, "One job, Bungie," because it's just the brightest white you've seen in the game on their fucking cloak. I like cackled when I saw that.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just incredible. It's like the perfect.
I think so many people expected
thing.
it to be like fucking Vanta Black type shit.
Yeah,
and like they were never gonna do that. I'm so sorry.
They weren't.
Yeah, like. It's very funny though.
It is.
If you were looking for a black shader, it definitely gets the job done, y'all. Please come down.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it
like
fits the bill for exactly what like I would say like 95% of people need it to do.
Yeah, the 90% of Hunter players who
okay, don't put that on me.
I think you know it is on. You know what it is.
My you're the one. You're currently all black.
Yes,
of course it is. That's so are fucking half of the ones in the tower.
Yes. I don't think I've played with a different Hunter that has not been a Super Black Hunter since that thing has fucking come out. Like I think I've literally played with
somebody
because I don't use Super Black.
I ran like an onslaught with somebody that had that, and then they wanted best fashion because they had Super Black on, and I just didn't commend them.
Literally never gonna give a best dressed to a Super Black.
I didn't give them anything.
Person.
Don't fucking play with that shit around here. All right.
I get why people like it.
Try.
But it's
all right.
It is a boring, easy, just brainless way to like get fashion in this game. Like whatever.
Learn what a color is. Come on, y'all.
Literally, that's it.
I was gonna wear.
It's okay to have a color.
Tonight. I'm so glad I didn't.
That would have been really, really funny. Actually, you could have could have flipped that on us, and we would have felt so bad.
I was gonna do a Super Black makeup style tonight, but I was just like too tired after going grocery shopping. So it's like, maybe next week.
You could have absolutely flipped that on us, and we'd be like, "Oh fuck, I'm so sorry," and you could have just made us feel like shit, and like that honestly would have been great content.
Yeah.
I did paint my nails black over the last weekend, so that way. Yeah. For the Super Black, for the celebration of it. So
I did think it was. I did like whenever you finally get that shader. There's like a weird fucking like venom, like or whatever.
Just drop and like
Hey,
venom.
contact is what it says.
Yeah.
Like, is that something we should be worried about?
Like, what did he just do to me? Actually,
are we good?
This is probably not great, not healthy for us.
Is my blood still safe to donate?
No.
Jet black. It's all oil now because that's jet black.
Fuck.
I'm an oil lady. That's what they say.
Talking about magic cards. Anyway.
Oh. All right. Well,
so I tapped the black mana and then.
Phyrexian, etc. Anyway,
I don't know anything about magic.
They have.
We'll
talk about it later. It's fine.
Yeah. You're losing me as well on that because I haven't played since high school. But yeah, I think that's largely going to do it for this week, as we're already off the rails on Destiny talk. Because I think that's largely it. There was some things about some PvP changes.
I feel like if you care about that, you've
read about that. Like so. I think
6 videos on it already.
Yeah, I think like a lot of
it. Watch Ascendant Nomad stream or whatever.
Yeah, and like a lot of it's like
he's delightful.
Yeah, a lot of it was like centered around some of the ammo changes they've been like tinkering with already. So it seems like they're just kind of like kind of finalizing that. Two little quick, I guess, other notes that are worth shouting to just this TWAB is for anybody still using Windows 7 or Windows 8 operating systems, get fucked. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, fucking get their ass, dude. Yeah.
So, I mean that's what Bungie's saying. They can't support it anymore. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
rip them
part,
apart.
So I was not ready for you to say that.
Fucking get their ass, dude.
Right. Get a new computer, you freaking dorks. Come on.
Join us in anything that has come out since like fucking 2015.
I have to pee way too bad for us to be making these jokes. I'm gonna piss myself.
God, that's funny. But yeah, they're ending. They're as of the final shape, so June 4th. You'll no longer be Destiny 2 will no longer support those operating systems. They're moving on up. So if you're somehow somebody's still using that, you need to make the upgrade if you want to play the final shape.
I mean, honestly, if you're still doing that, you have bigger problems. Probably.
Same. Also, that I feel like
you're not gonna have antivirus here pretty soon.
Yeah, you probably have a whole other world of issues on
your computer. We
were wondering
where all the cheaters were coming from for PvP. It was these
Damn, you're so right.
All this time.
Fucked, dude.
Got him. I'm fucking getting these guys. What is it? Your grandma playing Destiny 2? Get off Windows 8, grandma.
Yeah. your grandma fucking just dropping like sick, just cranking, just sick 360 sniper no scopes in the fucking Crucible.
Yeah. Just got her still rocking that revoker all these years.
Yeah. She's the one still using Better Devils from year one, actually.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Last other little note, I wanted to bring this up too, but I'm just remembering and seeing in the TWAB here. Archie Quest. The Archie Quest, if you didn't know, the dog that's over by Ada, like little robot dog, there's a weekly quest that you can do for Archie that is like them like running around places. So like that first week, it was going around the tower. Like you basically followed like a bunch of paw prints. Mm-hmm. You could like find them in spots on the ground in the tower, and you go to them, and it was taking you all these different places. So this week was the Cosmodrome, but they are going to be week specific. So if you missed the tower one last week, you can't go do the tower one.
I did. So
and now this week is the Cosmodrome one, and so when the reset hits, that one will be gone. So
I got to do it then.
So.
Yeah,
that's fun.
It's really silly.
Yeah, they're really simple, silly, and simple. Yeah. They just explained here like it was always supposed to be a simple thing, and that's why they made the like, hey, as long as you just do it once throughout these remaining weeks, you'll get that initial like clear of it, which will give you like that blue, like is a little blue shader, and it'll also like get you into the Bungie reward. So you only have to do 1 week, but those are week limited quests. I will recommend if you haven't done. Granted, it might be too late for some people because of the timing of this podcast release, but this week's was particularly like cool because if you follow them around the Cosmodrome, you get reunited if you're a D1 player. You get reunited with a certain Vandal.
Randall?
He shows up and he's been a little upgraded, I will say, into. Because that's all I'll say. But
he's doing well for himself.
But it's
in the fucking squad. He's looking great.
Yeah, but it's just like a fun little simple thing, and I think like this week will be a new chase around a different destination. It seems like each week it'll be a different destination, and then you get 10 trophies of bravery each week for completing it. So it's just a free
per character.
Yeah, and you do per character. So that's literally what I've been doing. Is just it's a free 30 things for just doing this little quest that like probably doesn't even take like 5-10 minutes.
It's fun and silly, and like it's like presented. It doesn't like directly tell you where everything is. It's like in the form of a riddle, which is always super fun.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Definitely go do those.
Yeah, go do them, and it's a little fun. And then what was the other thing? The other thing about it that I was going to say. Yeah, just fun little Easter egg things. Get your trophies, free 30 trophies a week on each character if you want to do that for like a 5-10 minute thing.
Yeah,
it's cool. So but yeah, just keep that in mind. And then you get like special little items for each week too. So like the first week for the tower one, you got a coupon thing, a ramen coupon again.
That's right.
The classic. For this week, you get a spin foil hat. So it's like a little tin foil hat.
That's cute.
So
I will never delete these items.
Yeah, I will probably try and get.
It says Archie will be sad if you.
I know.
Yeah, so I can't.
Also, I'm still upset that an update took my used toothbrush away.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
I think that's fucked up.
That is fucked up. That was used by you. Your guardian.
Yeah.
It's my guardian's toothbrush. How dare you? Now I have black.
I do still have my fucking Trials of the 9 tokens. So.
All right.
Let's go.
You deserve everything you get, Cam.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I think it's just fun to keep old shit.
Yeah, sometimes it's fun. But yeah, that's but that's I think that'll do it. That's all the little things that are from the TWAB and in the world of Destiny. That'll do it for this episode. We'll be back.
That's enough roasting for one episode.
Don't worry. There's always next week, baby.
Next week we will find another thing to shame the
it's just going to be hunters
out there. Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, super black hunters get fucked.
That's right.
Me included.
But yeah, we'll be back to talk about more Destiny stuff. We'll try and jump into this PvP map packs, do some Pantheon. Maybe we'll get some more news, some blogs or other things in the TWAB. So yeah, we'll be back next week. Talk about all that. Thanks everybody, as always, for hanging out here to listen to us rant on and ramble on about Destiny 2 here on YouTube or here on podcast services. Always appreciated. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.